Yo, what is going on YouTube? It is your boy GZTV back with another video, and in this video, we are going to be talking about all the NBA action from Friday, April 5th. Obviously, there were some great college women's hoops, but I don't really care about the college men's. Those were obviously some pretty good games tonight, a couple games that were on, but I guess South Carolina beat the shit out of whoever they played, NC State, sorry, but and there was obviously controversial calls in like the UConn game. I'm not going to talk about that. People are just fucking stupid. Trying to deny an illegal screen because of the time it was called. I don't really support that. So let's just get into it. We have a decent amount of games. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7 games to talk about. Pretty eventful evening around the NBA. Let's start with my Celtics, who got themselves in a close game with the Kings. Peyton Pritchard scores 21. The Celtics hold off the late charge by the Kings to hold on for a 1-point win. Obviously, great scoring for Peyton Pritchard, especially from the three-point line. He played great. Held them off. They fend them off. This is our 4th straight win, so we're kind of back on track after a couple tough losses to like the Hawks. So, yeah. Peyton Pritchard hit some threes. This was a pretty good game. Domantas Sabonis was making it tough for us all game. You know, he had 16 points, 16 rebounds, making it real tough for Porzingis. Obviously, Keegan Murray had 10 points, 11 rebounds. He had 40 points from De'Aaron Fox. But not having Kevin Huerter or Malik Monk definitely killed them. They had Keon Ellis out there starting, who's, I think, a rookie this year. No, he's definitely not a rookie. What am I talking about? I don't think he is anyway. No, he's a second-year guy. Second-year guy out there that's still trying to find his way. Obviously, they have Davion Mitchell and all that off the bench, but not having Malik Monk and not having Kevin Huerter is a pretty big deal for them, so that's why they lost. Obviously, the Celtics didn't have Jaylen Brown, but we also had Porzingis putting up 20 points, 11 rebounds, and made both of his threes, shot 70%, played a hell of a basketball game. Just such an efficient basketball player. Like, that doesn't get talked about enough when we talk about Porzingis. But 21 points off the bench for Peyton Pritchard, who shot 50% overall. That's huge, so good one for the C's. Moving on to the Magic and the Hornets. Brandon Miller's big first half helps the Hornets snap the Magic's 3-game win streak. They win by 9. Yeah, Brandon Miller made his first 10 shots from the field, ended up having a great scoring night, super efficient. Love to see it out of the rookie. He's going to do big things in this league. Yeah, knocking down shot after shot. Pretty solid game here. Paolo Banchero was getting some tough shots, as was Franz Wagner. Miles Bridges played some pretty good defense for the Hornets. They were able to win. Pretty solid performance from both teams. You get 32 points out of Paolo Banchero, who's gone on a solid run. 22 points out of Franz Wagner, who shot 50%. Not a great game from Jay Suggs. They don't really have that many other options off the bench for him, though. Maybe they could start trying to start Markelle Fultz. They are a winning team, and they're going to have a playoff run ahead of them, so they could possibly be preparing, trying to experiment a little bit. I don't know. Not a great look to lose to the Hornets, but 32 points from Brandon Miller. You get 23 points from Miles Bridges, who shot 33% from 3. Yeah, those guys are going to be a great duo, and there's going to be a pretty solid big 3 in Charlotte once LaMelo comes back next year. And obviously they don't have... I think they might have traded Mark Williams, which is kind of dumb. Did they do that? Am I stupid? Hold on. Let me... No, he's still playing on there. I was going to say, why would they trade him? He's a rookie. I don't even know if you can. But yeah, he's going to be a good guy. Obviously, they picked up Grant Williams, who can have some good games from here and there. But, yeah. Moving on, we have the Trailblazers-Wizards game. I know, a toilet bowl, but it still made for some pretty fun basketball. DeAndre Ayton and Delano Bayton helped the Trailblazers hand the Wizards their franchise record-tying 63rd loss of the season. So if they lose another game within the next 4 or 5 games, they're going to have their worst season ever. So yeah, obviously DeAndre Ayton had his best scoring night of the season. He grabbed boards at a high level. Yeah, this is bad for the Wizards. This is the lowest of the low. You thought that the Wizards were already low when they couldn't figure things out with Jay Wall and Brad Beal, but this is bad. Obviously, Scoot Henderson made it tough all game. Corey Kispert was hitting some tough shots for the Wizards. pretty poverty game, but still some fun moments. Denny Avdia played some good defense, and he was playing pretty solid offensively, but he was playing really good, actually. This was a good game for him, but geez, tough loss. Jarris Walker had 11 points, 13 rebounds, shooting 50% from the three. He's going to be a pretty big deal on the rebounding for them. They already have Ayton. But yeah, 34 points, 13 rebounds for a guy who shot 52%. Great stuff for DeAndre Ayton. You get 21 points off the bench for Delano, Banton, not Baton. Jesus, I tried to rhyme with Ayton there. Banton, who shot 33% from three. Yeah, man, he's been surging a little bit. Maybe they can try to develop him into someone solid. I think the Celtics had him for a little bit. He was on the Raptors. He's been all around the NBA. So, hopefully, I mean, he's probably going to be a journeyman for the majority of his career, but maybe he can find some strides. As we get into the Wizards, you get 22 points and 12 rebounds from Denny Avdia. You get 20 points from Jordan Poole, shooting 30% from three. But they got Johnny Davis out there starting. Like, I'm not a hater or anything, but that's not a great look. You know your franchise is somewhat in the dumps when you have a guy like Johnny Davis and guys like Jared Butler coming off the bench, you know. Like, these are young guys. Like, they don't even have a veteran presence in their guard room. I mean, Jordan Poole is fine. He's obviously inconsistent, but I don't know, man. Having Johnny Davis out there, I just don't know. He was great in college. I loved watching him at Wisconsin, no doubt. But yikes, man. It's looking bad for them. As we are going to get into the next game, which was the Knicks and the Bulls. Shout out to the Bulls for still keeping the 500 record alive for the season. Man, Javonte Green had a hell of a game. Sets career highs with 25 points, 13 rebounds, the best game of his career so far. Bulls beat the Knicks by 8. I think the Celtics actually used to have Javonte Green, and he showed some strides. He showed some flashes, but maybe he can figure it out in Boston. Javonte Green threw down a dunk so vicious his teammate got technical for celebrating on the sideline. It was that kind of night for him. He was in his bully bag. He was a dog, man. Obviously, Josh Hart, the ejection for kicking him in the head. I don't know how the hell that happens. Nikola Vucevic was hitting some threes. Really, really good game for Javonte Green, but Vucevic living on the perimeter in this game. Jalen Brunson was hitting tough shots. Yeah, man. Jalen Brunson is tough. So, 35 points, 11 assists. Nothing else from his team, though. Not a lot of help. Josh Hart getting ejected definitely killed the vibes. I guess they had Alec Burks, but he didn't. What the hell happened here? Alec Burks played 8 minutes when Josh Hart went down. I don't know why they're not playing him more. I guess they decided to just give all the minutes to Miles McBride, which really doesn't make sense in the long run because I feel like Alec Burks is a lot more fitted to play that kind of role, that kind of position. But, okay. Looking at the Bulls, 20 points, 10 assists for DeMar DeRozan. You get 16 points, 13 rebounds for Nikola Vucevic. Made most of his threes. 24 points for Ayo Dosunmu, shooting 50%. Shout out to Ayo, Illinois guy. 10 points, 16 rebounds off the bench for Andre Drummond, and 25 points, 13 rebounds for Javonte Green while shooting 50% from three. So great game for the Bulls here. You had 5 really good performances. And the Bulls are unstoppable if they can do that. Obviously, it's not really sustainable. It's not something you can consistently do, but my goodness, you can be a force out there. You can be feared in your conference if you could do that consistently, you know? Shout out to the Bulls. That's a good win. Next, we are going to get into, I think we have 3 more games left. We are going to get into the Raptors and the Bucks. What is happening in Milwaukee? Are they trying to tank the 2nd seed? I guess they could be. Are you really? I guess they're scared of playing like the Miami Heat. But they can't. I don't know. It's weird. Raptors snap a 15-game losing streak, and they extend a slump for the Bucks, who lose their 3rd straight to sub 500 team. A team that is not 500, and they continue to lose games. Obviously, Gary Trent Jr. balled out. He's one of the most inconsistent players in the NBA, but when he's on, he's on. Emmanuel Quickley barely missed a triple-double. They snapped a 15-game losing streak. Can you believe that? That is insanity. Because for a while, they were in the race to make the play-in, but then they just lost a fuck ton of games. But yeah, they win by 6. It's not looking good for Milwaukee. Obviously, I'm sure, with Giannis on your team, you're going to figure it out by the playoffs. But, dude, RJ Barrett played pretty good. Jalen McDaniels. Jalen McDaniels was making some good plays here and there. Pretty solid game. Bobby Portis was getting to the rim. And Damian Lillard was making shots. It's cool to see him back and actually playing really good. Yeah, man, Gary Trent. I'm telling you, when he's on, he's on. 31 points, shooting 50%. You get 26 for RJ Barrett. 25 points and 11 rebounds for Emmanuel Quickley. Hell of a basketball game for this team who gets out of their slump. No Giannis, I understand that, but you're playing the Raptors. And, I mean, you still get a 21-point performance from Chris Middleton off of 33% three-point shooting. You still get 36 out of Dame, who also shot 33% from three. You get 19 points and 10 rebounds from Bobby Portis off the bench. I don't even think losing Giannis is that big of a deal. You need to get Malik Beasley to shoot the ball more efficiently. He used to be a way more efficient shooter. He used to be way more consistent. And he's just lost his touch. I mean, he needs to get out of his slumps. He's continued to have off games. When he's having off games, don't be afraid to throw guys like Pat Connaughton or AJ Green or Andre Jackson out there, which they did to an extent, especially with Pat Connaughton, but I don't know, dude. I'm not sure. They need to figure out that situation. I don't think Giannis is really that big of a problem here. But moving on to the final two games I want to talk about, Spurs and Pelicans. Spurs have been getting some big wins recently. Victor Wembanyama has a key late block. The Spurs rally to beat a reeling Pelicans. They win by 2. Pelicans are kind of falling in the West. I mean, any loss in that conference is costly, and it's not looking great for the Pelicans. Great second half for Victor Wembanyama after a slow start to the game. Crucial block on Herb Jones' shot in the final seconds. So, yeah, it doesn't look great on the box score, but Victor Wembanyama made some plays. He was dishing the rock around. Sandro hit some tough ones. Pretty dope game. Devontae Graham. I love seeing it. Devontae Graham's a dope player, really likable guy. He was hitting some threes. Julian Champagnie was hitting some tough shots. I thought Julian Champagnie was on a different team. Am I wrong? I guess that's just on 2K. I read that. I don't know what happened. But yeah, Wemby, 17 points, 12 rebounds, shot 50% from 3. You get 20 points off the bench for Devontae Graham. He shot 33% from 3. Pretty decent effort here for the Spurs. But yeah, 26 points for Jonas Valanciunas. He played a hell of a game. 31 points for 3J McCollum, who continued to be great. 33% from 3. He's had a really good stretch recently. They need to figure out, Dyson Daniels, kind of getting him going, because for the minutes he plays, I don't know if he really gives this team that much. I mean, obviously there's no one else on the team that can even start over him, to be honest, like with what they have. But I don't know. It's an interesting one for sure. So Malcolm Hill played for Illinois. I did not know that. Wow. He's 28. Obviously, he played like years earlier. Do I remember that name? I don't know. My bad, guys. I'm kind of yapping here. Yeah, I guess the Pelicans just need to figure out with Dyson Daniels. I don't even think the absence of Zion really affected this team that much, because everyone kind of filled in solidly. I mean, and obviously, not even the loss of Brandon Ingram was that big of a deal. I don't know. But moving on to the final game I want to talk about of the night, we have the Warriors and the Mavs, because it's the main event of this video. Warriors get edged. That's the word out, I guess, out of making a play or clinching the play-in. So PJ Washington scores 32 points, hits the tie-breaking basket as Luka Doncic sits, and the Mavs beat the Warriors by 2. PJ Washington capped his best game in Dallas with a tie-breaking layup with 4.5 seconds remaining as Luka Doncic watched because of a sore knee, and they were able to get it done. And I'm sure Luka's very relieved. He's very happy that his teammates can go out there and help him win games. The Warriors were on a 6-game winning streak coming into this game. That is no longer, and they couldn't continue that momentum to kick the Rockets out of the play-in. I'm sure somewhere down the line soon enough that is going to happen, because the Warriors are playing really good right now. But yeah, Kyrie Irving just made it tough for them all game. Pretty good game. They win in thrilling fashion. It came down to the wire. Obviously, the Warriors didn't play that bad. Steph Curry was hitting some threes. GP2 was making some impactful shots off the bench. Yeah, Steph Curry put up 28 points. That's really about it, though. You'd like to see a guy like Draymond Green. I know he's not really an offensive player, but it'd be nice to see him, become a little more involved offensively. Obviously, Kuminga not playing is a decently big deal, but he had tendonitis, which sucks. But yeah, looking at the Mavs, 32 points from PJ Washington, shooting 67%. Hell of a basketball game for him. You get 10 points, 15 rebounds for Daniel Gafford, being the traditional big man out there. 26 points for Kyrie Irving. So, yeah, the Mavs get it done in this one. The fuck? I keep feeling like there's shit in my hair. But pretty good games. I don't really care to look at the tomorrow's games because we're focused on college basketball. I might, you know what? I'll probably watch the Cavs Lakers before that. I don't know though. I think I have to work on a project tomorrow with some kid from my class, so I don't know how much involved I'm going to be with sports until the Final Four starts. Cavs Lakers is really the only game that matters tomorrow anyway. So. Yeah, that is going to do it. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Your boy. Obviously, tomorrow, you guys know the Final Four games. NC State versus Purdue. I think Purdue's going to whoop them. And I think UConn's going to whoop Bama. We're going to see UConn and Purdue in the championship, most likely.